Self-Made Rich, written and published by Rich Audiobooks. The journey to wealth begins with a single, powerful question. Why do you want to be rich? This isn't about the surface-level answers we tell ourselves or others. It's about diving deep into the core motivations that will sustain you through the challenges ahead. Most people chase wealth for the wrong reasons. They see the lifestyle portrayals on social media, the luxury cars, the exotic vacations, and they think that's what being rich is about. But true wealth creation starts with understanding that money is merely a tool, a means to an end, not the end itself. The most successful self-made people have crystal-clear purposes that transcend material possessions. Your why is the foundation upon which every other wealth-building decision will rest. It's the compass that guides you when opportunities arise, the fuel that powers you through setbacks, and the filter through which you'll make crucial choices. Without a compelling why, you'll likely join the ranks of those who start strong but fizzle out when things get tough. Think about what truly moves you at your core. Perhaps it's creating generational wealth to ensure your children have opportunities you never had. Maybe it's gaining the freedom to pursue passion projects without financial constraints. For some, it's about making a significant impact in their community or funding causes they deeply care about. Your why should make your heart race and your eyes water, should be deeply personal and emotionally charged. The most powerful whys often stem from pain or inspiration. They might originate from watching your parents struggle financially, experiencing personal hardship, or witnessing injustice you want to correct. These emotional triggers create an unshakable resolve that mere desire for material wealth cannot match. Lesson 1. Get crystal clear on your why. To uncover your authentic why, imagine yourself 5, 10, or 20 years in the future. What legacy do you want to leave? What stories do you want others to tell about how you used your wealth? What problems do you want to solve? The answers to these questions reveal the true purpose behind your wealth-building journey. Your why must be specific and vivid enough to create detailed mental pictures. Vague notions like, I want to be comfortable, or I want to be my own boss, won't sustain you through the inevitable challenges ahead. Instead, craft a why that you can see, feel, and almost touch in your mind's eye. The more detailed and emotional your vision, the more powerful its pull will be. Write your why down and refine it until it resonates deeply with your core values. Place it somewhere you'll see it daily, your bathroom mirror, your phone's lock screen, your workspace. Let it be the first thing you see in the morning and the last thing you think about at night. Your why should become so ingrained that it automatically influences your daily decisions and actions. Your why may evolve as you grow and achieve different levels of success. What drives you today might shift as you gain new experiences and perspectives. That's natural and healthy. What matters is maintaining the clarity and emotional connection to your current driving force. A crystal clear why transforms the arduous journey of wealth building from a series of difficult tasks into a meaningful mission. It turns mundane actions into purposeful steps toward a larger goal. When you're crystal clear on your why, saying no to distractions becomes easier, working late feels purposeful, and sacrificing immediate pleasures for long-term gains becomes natural. Your why becomes the invisible force that pulls you forward when motivation wanes and obstacles seem insurmountable. Lesson 2. Accept full responsibility for your life. The single most powerful step you can take toward building wealth is accepting complete, unconditional responsibility for your current financial situation and future outcomes. This mindset shift fundamentally changes how you interact with money, opportunities, and challenges. When you truly internalize that you are the author of your financial story, everything changes. Most people live in a state of partial responsibility, creating elaborate stories about why their circumstances are beyond their control. The economy, their upbringing, bad luck, or other people's actions become convenient explanations for their financial position. While these external factors are real, successful wealth builders understand that their response to these circumstances is entirely within their control. This ownership mentality extends far beyond simple positive thinking. It's about developing an unshakable belief that you have the power to influence your outcomes, regardless of starting position or current challenges. When you encounter a setback, rather than looking for someone or something to blame, you automatically ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow stronger? What actions can I take right now to move forward? The wealth-building journey becomes exponentially easier when you stop expending energy on justifying your situation and instead redirect that energy toward finding solutions. This shift often feels uncomfortable at first because it means acknowledging that past financial decisions, even those made with limited information or resources, were ultimately your choice. However, this discomfort is precisely what makes the principle so powerful. It puts you firmly in the driver's seat of your financial future. Creating a personal accountability system accelerates this mindset transformation. Start by auditing your language, both internal and external. Replace phrases like "I can't afford it" with "How can I afford it?" or "I don't have time" with "This isn't a priority right now." These subtle shifts reinforce your agency and creative problem-solving abilities. Document your decisions and their outcomes, taking full ownership of both successes and failures. Wealth builders who embrace radical responsibility find opportunities where others see obstacles. When the market crashes, they look for undervalued assets. When their business faces competition, they innovate rather than complain. When they lack knowledge, they find ways to learn rather than using ignorance as an excuse. This approach naturally leads to more strategic thinking and action-taking. The ownership mindset extends to your relationship with money itself. Rather than viewing money as something that happens to you through paychecks, bills, or market forces, you begin to see it as something you actively direct and influence. Every dollar that enters or leaves your life does so because of decisions you make, either actively or passively. This level of responsibility can feel heavy at first, but it's actually incredibly liberating. When you accept that you create your financial reality, you no longer feel at the mercy of external circumstances. You stop waiting for the perfect moment, the right opportunity, or someone else's permission to build wealth. You realize that every moment is an opportunity to make decisions that move you closer to or further from your financial goals. As you develop this mindset, you'll notice a natural decrease in financial stress and anxiety, not because your challenges disappear, but because you approach them from a position of agency rather than victimhood. You'll find yourself taking more calculated risks, learning from failures faster, and bouncing back from setbacks with greater resilience. This is the foundation upon which all other wealth-building strategies must rest. Lesson 3. Learn a high-income skill. In today's digital economy, the fastest path to wealth isn't through climbing traditional corporate ladders, it's through developing high-income skills that solve valuable problems. A high-income skill is fundamentally different from a job skill. While job skills might help you earn a steady paycheck, high-income skills create opportunities for exponential earnings without necessarily trading more time for money. The beauty of high-impulse skills lies in their transferability and scalability. Unlike traditional credentials that may become obsolete, these skills adapt to market demands and can be applied across various industries. Think of skills like copywriting, which can serve everything from small local businesses to global corporations, or data analysis, which becomes increasingly valuable as companies gather more information than ever before. Today's most lucrative skills often exist at the intersection of technology, creativity, and human psychology. Digital marketing, for instance, combines understanding human behavior with technical knowledge to drive business results. Software development continues to command premium rates because it directly contributes to business efficiency and innovation. Sales and persuasion skills remain evergreen because they're fundamental to business growth regardless of industry changes. What makes a skill-high environment isn't just its technical complexity, it's the value it creates for others. Consider user experience design. While the technical aspects can be learned relatively quickly, the ability to create interfaces that dramatically improve user engagement and conversion rates can command six-figure fees. The key is focusing on skills that solve expensive problems or create significant value for businesses or high-net-worth people. The path to acquiring these skills has also transformed. Traditional education isn't always necessary or even optimal. Online platforms, mentorship programs, and real-world practice often provide more relevant and practical training. Many successful people start by choosing one skill, immersing themselves in free online resources, then gradually investing in more sophisticated training as they begin earning. The acquisition process itself teaches valuable lessons about persistence, problem-solving, and self-directed learning. These meta skills become crucial assets in building wealth. As you develop your chosen skill, you'll naturally encounter obstacles that force you to think creatively and develop resilience, qualities that separate successful entrepreneurs from those who give up too soon. Consider starting with skills that have low barriers to entry but high potential returns. Content creation, for example, requires minimal initial investment but can lead to significant opportunities in consulting, speaking, or building digital products. Similarly, learning to analyze and interpret data might begin with basic spreadsheet skills, but can evolve into sophisticated business intelligence consulting. The most powerful aspect of high-input skills is their compound effect. As you become more proficient, you not only command higher rates, but also spot opportunities to leverage your expertise in multiple ways. A skilled copywriter might progress from writing individual pieces to creating digital courses, consulting for agencies, or building a team to handle larger projects. The goal isn't just to learn the skill, but to position it effectively in the market. Understanding how to package and present your expertise becomes as important as the skill itself. This means learning to identify ideal clients, communicate your value proposition, and build systems to deliver your services efficiently. The journey of acquiring a high personal skill often reveals additional opportunities you couldn't have anticipated at the start. Many successful entrepreneurs began with one specific skill and discovered entirely new business models as their expertise grew. This organic evolution, guided by market feedback and personal interests, often leads to the most sustainable and fulfilling paths to wealth creation. Lesson 4. Create more than you consume. The fundamental difference between the wealthy and the struggling lies not in their income, but in their relationship with production and consumption. While most people spend their lives consuming representations, resources, and time, the wealthy have mastered the art of creating value that outlasts their immediate efforts. Consider how the average person spends their day: consuming news, scrolling through social media, watching videos, buying products, and using services created by others. This consumption-heavy lifestyle creates a perpetual cycle of trading time for money, only to spend that money on more consumption. To break free from this cycle, you must shift your mindset from being a consumer to becoming a producer. Transformation begins with a simple audit of your daily activities. Track how much time you spend consuming versus creating. Are you writing content or reading it? Are you building products or buying them? Are you developing systems or following someone else's? This awareness is often uncomfortable but necessary for change. The wealthy typically maintain a production-to-consumption ratio at least 2-to-1, meaning they spend twice as much time creating value as they do consuming. The digital age has democratized production capabilities. You no longer need factories, expensive equipment, or large teams to create value. With a laptop and internet connection, you can produce digital products, content, software, courses, or services that can reach millions. The key is to focus on creating assets that continue generating value long after your initial effort, what we call create once, benefit infinitely, assets. Production doesn't always mean creating physical or digital products. It can mean producing solutions, strategies, connections, or opportunities. A real estate agent doesn't just show houses, they produce transactions and relationships. A consultant doesn't just give advice, they produce transformational outcomes for their client. Even within traditional employment, you can shift from being a task completer to a value creator by focusing on producing results that extend beyond your job description. The wealth-building power of production comes from its compound effect. When you create something of value, whether it's content, a product, or a system, it can continue working for you while you sleep. This compounds over time as you layer new creations upon existing ones. Consider how a single blog post can generate traffic for years, or how a well-designed system can automatically handle thousands of customers without additional effort. To accelerate your wealth creation, focus on producing assets that scale without proportional effort. This might mean creating digital products, building automated systems, developing intellectual property, or establishing processes that others can execute. The goal is to break free from the linear relationship between time and money that constrains most people's earning potential. The production mindset also extends to your personal development. Instead of just consuming educational content, produce summaries, analyses, or practical applications of what you learn. Rather than simply attending networking events, produce opportunities for others to connect. Transform your consumption into fuel for creation, and you'll find yourself naturally attracting wealth-building opportunities. The quality of your production matters more than the quantity. Focus on creating value that solves real problems or fulfills genuine needs. The market rewards those who consistently produce solutions to pressing challenges, not those who simply add to the noise. Start small if necessary, but start producing. Whether it's writing, recording, building, or organizing, the act of creation sets in motion forces that can generate wealth far beyond your initial investment of time and effort. Lesson 5. Save aggressively to invest, not to sit. The fundamental difference between the wealthy and the financially stagnant often comes down to how they view saving money. While most people save defensively, stockpiling cash for emergencies or retirement, the wealthy save offensively, viewing their savings as ammunition for future opportunities. This shift in perspective transforms saving from a passive activity into an active wealth-building strategy. Think of your savings as soldiers waiting to be deployed into battle. Every dollar sitting idle in a low-yield savings account is a soldier not fighting for your financial freedom. The goal isn't to build the biggest army and let it sit in the barracks. It's to train your forces and deploy them strategically to capture territory in the form of assets, investments, and opportunities that generate returns. The aggressive saving mindset requires a complete reorganization of your spending habits. Start by analyzing every expense through the lens of opportunity cost. That $5.00 daily coffee isn't just $5.00, it's $150.00 per month that could be invested in a high-potential stock, used as seed money for a side business, or put toward acquiring a cash-flowing asset. This doesn't mean living like a miser. It means being intentional about where your money goes and understanding the true cost of small, regular expenditures. Successful investors maintain a state of constant readiness, knowing that the best opportunities often appear without warning. Having substantial liquid capital available allows you to move quickly when these opportunities arise. Whether it's a market downturn that presents buying opportunities, a distressed property sale, or a chance to invest in a promising startup, your aggressive savings become your competitive advantage. The mechanics of aggressive saving require both systems and psychology. Set up automatic transfers that move money to investment accounts before you have a chance to spend it. Create separate accounts for different investment purposes, one for real estate opportunities, another for market investments, and perhaps another for business ventures. This organization helps maintain focus and prevents the temptation to dip into your investment capital for consumption. Many people make the mistake of thinking that saving is about willpower. In reality, it's about engineering your environment and creating systems that make saving the default option. Use technology to your advantage. Apps that round up purchases and invest the difference, automatic investment plans, and spending trackers that help you identify areas where you can increase your savings rate. The wealthy understand that inflation is a silent wealth killer. Letting substantial amounts of money sit in traditional savings accounts guarantees a loss of purchasing power over time. This is why aggressive saving must be paired with aggressive investment education. Study investment vehicles, understand market cycles, and develop the knowledge to deploy your capital effectively when opportunities arrive. Aggressive savings isn't about reaching a specific number. It's about building a war chest that allows you to take advantage of opportunities that align with your wealth-building strategy. The size of your savings relative to your income should make you slightly uncomfortable. If you're completely comfortable with your savings rate, you're probably not saving aggressively enough. Treat your savings like a business, with regular reviews and adjustments to your strategy. Track your savings rate as a percentage of your income and constantly look for ways to increase it. Challenge yourself to save more each month than you did the previous month, even if only by a small amount. This competitive approach to saving creates momentum that compounds over time. The ultimate goal of aggressive saving is to reach a point where your deployed capital generates more income than your active efforts. This is when saving transforms from a defensive strategy into an offensive weapon in your wealth-building arsenal. Your saved and invested capital becomes a force multiplier, working alongside you to create additional streams of income and opportunities for wealth creation. Lesson 6. Build digital or scalable income streams. The digital revolution has democratized wealth creation in unprecedented ways. While previous generations were limited by physical constraints and geographical boundaries, Today's entrepreneurs can leverage technology to build income streams that scale infinitely with minimal additional effort. This isn't about getting lucky with a viral app or becoming an overnight social media sensation. It's about understanding and applying the fundamental principles of digital leverage. Digital assets work while you sleep, can be duplicated at virtually no cost, and reach audiences worldwide. Whether it's an online course, software solution, digital product, or content platform, these assets share a common trait. They can serve one customer or 1 million customers with similar operational overhead. This multiplier effect is what makes digital income streams so powerful for building wealth. The beauty of digital scalability lies in its accessible entry points. You don't need massive capital or complex infrastructure to begin. Start with what you know, your expertise, experiences, or solutions to problems you've encountered. Package this knowledge into a format that can be easily distributed, perhaps a detailed guide, a video series, or a software tool. The key is to create something once that can be sold repeatedly without requiring your direct involvement in every transaction. However, building digital income isn't about throwing content into the void and hoping for success. It requires strategic thinking about value delivery and user experience. Consider how your digital asset can solve problems more effectively than existing solutions. What unique perspective or methodology can you bring to the table? How can you structure your offering to provide maximum value while maintaining scalability? The most successful digital entrepreneurs understand that scalability extends beyond the product itself. Your systems for marketing, customer service, and business operations must also be designed for growth. Automation tools, strategic outsourcing, and robust processes enable your business to expand without creating proportional demands on your time and energy. Many aspiring entrepreneurs make the mistake of trying to build the perfect digital product before launching. Instead, adopt an iterative approach. Release a minimal viable version, gather real user feedback, and improve based on actual market response. This approach reduces risk and accelerates your learning curve while allowing you to build something people genuinely want. One often overlooked aspect of digital scalability is the power of compound growth. Unlike traditional businesses that face physical limitations, digital platforms can experience exponential growth through network effects and viral distribution. Each satisfied customer becomes a potential ambassador for your product, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of growth. This compound effect means that seemingly modest beginnings can evolve into substantial income streams over time. Building digital income streams isn't about replacing your current income overnight. It's about gradually creating assets that generate value independently of your time. Start small. Focus on providing genuine value and continuously optimize based on market feedback. The goal is to build systems that can grow without requiring proportional increases in your personal effort. Your digital income strategy should align with your strengths and market opportunities. If you're technically inclined, perhaps developing software or apps makes sense. If you're an expert in your field, creating educational content or consulting frameworks might be your path. The specific vehicle matters less than ensuring it leverages digital distribution and scalability principles. The most powerful digital income streams often combine multiple scalable elements. For instance, an educational platform that includes automated course delivery, community features, and supplementary tools. This creates multiple value points for customers while maintaining the scalability that makes digital assets so attractive for wealth building. Lesson 7. Surround yourself with growth-minded people. Your network directly influences your net worth. This isn't just a catchy phrase, it's a fundamental truth that shapes the trajectory of your financial journey. The people you spend the most time with affect your mindset, habits, opportunities, and ultimately your success in building wealth. Think about your current circle of influence. Are they pushing you to grow, challenge your limitations, and pursue bigger goals? Or do they subtly encourage you to stay comfortable, play it safe, and maintain the status quo? The harsh reality is that most people unconsciously hold others back because of their own fears and limiting beliefs. They project their doubts onto your dreams, not out of malice, but from their own unexamined fears about success and failure. Creating wealth requires you to intentionally cultivate relationships with people who are already where you want to be, or are actively working towards similar goals. These growth-minded people naturally expand your vision of what's possible. When you spend time with people who are building businesses, investing wisely, and taking calculated risks, these behaviors start to feel normal rather than extraordinary. Their success becomes proof that your goals are achievable, and their stories provide practical blueprints you can learn from. Finding these connections requires strategic effort. Start by joining professional organizations, attending industry events, and participating in masterminds focused on wealth creation. Online communities can be valuable, but prioritize developing real relationships where possible. The depth of connection matters more than the quantity of contacts. Look for people who are openly sharing their journey, including their struggles and failures, rather than those who only showcase their successes. Mentorship accelerates your growth exponentially. A good mentor has already navigated the path you're on and can help you avoid costly mistakes while pointing out opportunities you might miss. Don't approach potential mentors asking for handouts or formal arrangements. Instead, find ways to provide value first. Study their work, implement their teachings, and share your results. Many successful people are willing to guide others who demonstrate genuine commitment and initiative. As you upgrade your network, you'll likely face the challenge of managing existing relationships that no longer serve your growth. This doesn't mean cutting off friends and family, but rather adjusting the time and energy you invest in different relationships. Some people will feel threatened by your changes and may try to pull you back to old patterns. Handle these situations with compassion but firmness, understanding that your growth might make others uncomfortable. Creating an environment for wealth building also means protecting yourself from energy vampires, those who consistently drain your motivation and resources without contributing to your growth. Learn to recognize the signs: constant negativity, victim mentality, endless taking without giving, and resistance to personal responsibility. Set clear boundaries with these people, limiting their access to your time and emotional energy. The most powerful relationships are built on mutual growth and support. Seek out opportunities to contribute to others' success while pursuing your own. Share resources, make introductions, and celebrate others' wins as if they were your own. This abundance mindset attracts similar people and creates a positive feedback loop of opportunity and growth. Your journey to wealth requires careful curation of your social environment. Every interaction either moves you closer to or further from your goals. By intentionally surrounding yourself with growth-minded people, you create an ecosystem that naturally supports your evolution into the wealthy person you aspire to become. The compound effect of these relationships, over time, becomes one of your most valuable assets in building lasting wealth. Lesson 8. Fail fast and learn faster. The path to becoming self-made rich is paved with failures, setbacks, and temporary defeats. Yet it's precisely these moments that contain the seeds of future success. The most successful entrepreneurs and wealth creators don't just accept failure, they actively pursue it as a means of rapid learning and growth. Consider failure as your personal research and development department. Each misstep provides valuable data about what doesn't work, bringing you one step closer to what does. The key lies not in avoiding failure, but in accelerating the failure cycle to compress years of learning into months. This approach requires a fundamental shift in how you view failure, from something to be feared to something to be embraced and engineered. The concept of failing fast originated in the tech startup world, but applies perfectly to personal wealth creation. Instead of spending months or years perfecting a business idea in isolation, successful wealth builders launch minimal viable versions of their ideas quickly. They gather real-world feedback, adjust their approach, and iterate rapidly. This methodology dramatically reduces the cost of failure while maximizing the learning potential from each attempt. Creating deliberate feedback loops accelerates this learning process. Rather than waiting for feedback to come to you, actively seek it out. Ask direct questions to customers, mentors, and even competitors. Monitor metrics religiously and establish clear benchmarks for success and failure. The faster you can identify what isn't working, the quicker you can pivot toward what does. Resilience through strategic failure requires a systematic approach. Document every failure thoroughly: what was attempted, what was expected, what actually happened, and most importantly, what insights were gained. This documentation becomes your personal playbook of lessons learned, preventing you from repeating the same mistakes while identifying patterns that lead to success. The most valuable failures often come from ambitious attempts rather than playing it safe. When you push beyond your comfort zone and attempt something truly challenging, the potential for failure increases, but so does the magnitude of the lessons learned. These high-quality failures teach you more about yourself, your market, and your capabilities than small, safe experiments ever could. Famous success stories often mask the numerous failures that preceded them. Walt Disney was fired for lacking creativity. Steve Jobs was publicly ousted from the company he founded. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter was accepted. These weren't just random setbacks. They were crucial learning experiences that shaped their eventual success. Each failure provided vital insights that influenced their future decisions and strategies. The speed of recovery after failure matters more than the failure itself. Develop a personal reset routine that helps you process the emotional impact of failure while extracting the valuable lessons quickly. This might involve journaling, discussing with mentors, or simply taking a brief pause to reflect. The goal is to maintain momentum while integrating the lessons learned. Your relationship with failure directly impacts your wealth-building potential. Those who fear failure move slowly, take fewer risks, and miss opportunities. Those who embrace failure as a teacher move quickly, take calculated risks, and create more opportunities for success. By accelerating your failure cycle, you accelerate your learning, and by extension, your path to wealth. Treat each failure as an investment in your education, often worth more than any formal training or degree. The tuition paid in failed attempts, lost money, or missed opportunities becomes valuable when you extract and apply the lessons learned. Your ability to fail fast, learn faster, and implement those lessons consistently will set you apart from those who remain paralyzed by the fear of failure. Lesson 9. Automate your finances. Money management shouldn't consume your daily thoughts and energy. The wealthy understand that financial automation is not just a convenience, it's a strategic imperative that creates mental space for high-value activities while ensuring consistent wealth building. Think of financial automation as your personal money robot, working 24/7 to keep your finances aligned with your goals. When you automate your finances, you remove emotion from the equation and eliminate the possibility of forgetting important payments or transfers. This systematic approach ensures that every dollar serves its intended purpose, whether that's investing, saving, or covering essential expenses. The foundation of financial automation starts with your income streams. Set up direct deposits for all your earnings to flow into a central account. This becomes your command center, from which you'll orchestrate all other money movements. From there, create automatic transfers that occur the day after you receive your income. These transfers should feed into specific accounts dedicated to investments, emergency funds, tax provisions, and operating expenses. Investment automation deserves special attention. Rather than trying to time the market or make emotional decisions, set up recurring investments into your chosen vehicles. This could be monthly contributions to your retirement accounts, regular purchases of index funds, or systematic investments in your business ventures. The power lies in the consistency. By getting consistent returns, markets will fluctuate, but your automated investment strategy remains steadfast. Bill payments should never occupy your mental bandwidth. Set up automatic payments for all recurring expenses, but with a twist, use a dedicated checking account that receives exactly what you need for bills each month. This creates a firewall between your spending and your wealth-building activities. Credit card payments should be set to automatic full payment to avoid any interest charges while building your credit profile. Tax automation is often overlooked but crucial for wealth preservation. Create automatic transfers to a separate account for estimated tax payments, especially if you're self-employed or have multiple income streams. This prevents tax season surprises and ensures you're never caught short when it's time to pay the government. Debt reduction should also run on autopilot. If you have any loans or mortgages, set up automatic payments above the minimum required. This accelerates your path to becoming debt-free while eliminating the risk of late payments. The same applies to credit card balances. They should be paid in full automatically to avoid carrying any high-interest debt. Security measures must be built into your automation system. Set up automatic alerts for unusual spending patterns, low balances, or large transactions. This creates a safety net that helps you spot potential issues before they become problems. Regular automatic backups of your financial records ensure you always have a clear picture of your money movement. The true power of financial automation reveals itself in the compound effect of consistent actions over time. When your money automatically flows to the right places, you're not just saving time, you're creating a wealth-building machine that works independently of your daily attention. This frees your mental energy to focus on growth activities like developing new income streams or expanding your business operation. Your automated system should also include regular rebalancing of investments and periodic reviews of your automation rules. Set calendar reminders every quarter to ensure your automation still aligns with your evolving financial goals and circumstances. This light maintenance keeps your money robot running efficiently while requiring minimal intervention from you. Automation is a tool for execution, not decision-making. The strategic choices about where to invest, how much to save, and what goals to pursue still require your conscious input. Once these decisions are made, automation ensures they're implemented consistently and efficiently, removing the burden of daily financial management from your shoulders. Lesson 10. Master Selling and Persuasion. The most successful self-made people have mastered one fundamental skill that transcends all industries and business models: the art of selling and persuasion. Many people recoil at the mere mention of sales, picturing aggressive tactics and manipulative schemes. However, authentic selling is simply the ability to effectively communicate value and help others make decisions that benefit them. Every interaction in life involves some form of selling, whether you're convincing your child to eat vegetables, persuading your boss to give you a raise, or getting customers to buy your products. The wealthy understand that mastering this skill isn't optional, it's essential for creating and scaling wealth. They recognize that money flows in proportion to your ability to articulate value and influence others' decisions. The foundation of effective selling begins with a mindset shift. Instead of viewing selling as taking something from someone, see it as solving problems and adding value to others' lives. This perspective transformation allows you to approach sales conversations with genuine confidence and enthusiasm. When you truly believe in what you're offering and its potential to improve someone's life, selling becomes a natural, ethical process of connection and service. Understanding human psychology is crucial for mastering persuasion. People make buying decisions based on emotions and justify them with logic. They purchase solutions to their problems, fulfillment of their desires, and paths to their aspirations. By deeply understanding your audience's needs, fears, and dreams, you can position your offerings as the bridge between their current reality and desired outcome. The most powerful selling technique is storytelling. Stories bypass psychological resistance and connect with people on an emotional level. They make abstract concepts concrete and help others envision themselves experiencing the benefits you're describing. Whether you're selling products, services, or ideas, weaving compelling narratives into your communication will dramatically increase your effectiveness. Body language and nonverbal communication play an equally important role in persuasion. Your tone of voice, facial expressions, and physical presence can either reinforce or undermine your message. Developing awareness of these elements and learning to consciously align them with your intended message will multiply your surprise power. The most successful communicators maintain consistent congruence between their words and their presence. Mastering objection handling is another critical component of selling. Rather than viewing objections as obstacles, see them as requests for more information. Every objection is an opportunity to better understand your audience's concerns and address them effectively. The key is to anticipate common objections and prepare thoughtful, value-focused responses that demonstrate empathy and expertise. The digital age has introduced new channels for selling and persuasion, but the fundamental principles remain unchanged. Whether you're selling through social media, email, video, or in person, success comes from understanding human nature and communicating authentic value. The most effective sellers adapt their approach to different platforms while maintaining consistency in their core message and values. Building trust is the cornerstone of sustainable selling success. This means following through on promises, maintaining transparency, and consistently delivering value. The wealthy know that reputation is everything in business, and they protect it fiercely. They focus on creating long-term relationships rather than short-term gains, understanding that trust multiplies opportunities over time. Practice is essential for developing mastery in selling and persuasion. Start small, but start immediately. Look for opportunities to practice these skills in daily interactions. Record yourself, analyze your communication, and continuously refine your approach. The most successful self-made people never stop honing their ability to influence and persuade effectively. Lesson 11. Stay broke while getting rich. The concept of staying broke while getting rich might seem counterintuitive at first, but it's one of the most powerful wealth-building principles you can adopt. This approach doesn't mean living in poverty or denying yourself basic necessities. Instead, it's about maintaining a lean operational mindset while continuously reinvesting in assets and opportunities that generate long-term wealth. Consider the difference between someone who makes $100,000, 0 cents, and immediately upgrades their lifestyle, versus someone who maintains their previous standard of living and redirects the additional income into investments. The first person might appear wealthy with their new car and upgraded apartment, but they're actually becoming poorer in terms of asset ownership and future earning potential. The second person might seem frugal or even broke to outside observers, but they're steadily building an empire. This principle was exemplified by many of today's wealthy entrepreneurs during their early days. Jeff Bezos ran Amazon from a garage while driving an old Honda, even after the company went public. Warren Buffett still lives in the same house he bought in 1958. These people understood that every dollar spent on lifestyle inflation is a dollar that could have been multiplied through strategic investment. The psychology behind staying broke is powerful because it creates a productive tension that drives innovation and hustle. When you maintain a mindset of scarcity while building abundance, you're more likely to spot opportunities, work efficiently, and make strategic decisions rather than emotional ones. This tension keeps you sharp and hungry, preventing the complacency that often comes with early success. Implementing this principle requires establishing clear boundaries between your wealth and your lifestyle. Create separate accounts for your personal expenses, keeping them modest and predictable while maintaining separate structures for your growing wealth. This separation helps prevent lifestyle creep and ensures that your increasing success doesn't lead to increasing expenditures. A practical approach is to set a fixed percentage of your income for living expenses and stick to it, regardless of how much you earn. As your income grows, the absolute amount available for living expenses may increase slightly, but the majority of additional earnings go straight into wealth-building activities. This creates a sustainable model where your quality of life improves gradually while your wealth grows exponentially. The power of this strategy becomes evident when you examine the compound effect over time. Someone who lives on 30% of their income and reinvests 70% will experience exponential growth in their wealth-generating assets, while someone who increases their spending with each income boost will see linear or even negative growth in their real wealth. This principle extends beyond just personal finances. In business, maintaining a lean operation even as revenue grows allows for greater reinvestment in expansion, research and development, or market penetration. Many successful companies maintain this broke mentality well into their growth phase, choosing to reinvest in opportunity rather than comfort. Staying broke is a strategic choice, not a permanent condition. The goal is to maintain this mindset during the wealth-building phase of your journey, typically the first 5-10 years of serious wealth creation. By delaying gratification and maintaining operational leanness, you create a foundation for lasting wealth that can eventually support whatever lifestyle you choose. The most successful practitioners of this principle often find that by the time they can afford significant lifestyle upgrades, they no longer desire them. They've developed an appreciation for efficiency and value that transcends their bank account balance. This mindset shift is perhaps the most valuable outcome of staying broke while getting rich. It transforms not just your financial situation, but your entire relationship with money and success. Lesson 12. Repeat what works, relentlessly. Success leaves clues, and the path to wealth becomes clearer when you recognize and replicate your winning strategies. The most successful self-made people have discovered that wealth creation isn't about constant innovation. It's about finding what works and doubling down on those proven methods with unwavering consistency. Think about McDonald's. They didn't become a global empire by continuously changing their menu or reinventing their business model. They identified their core success factors, consistent quality, fast service, and systematic operations, and replicated these elements thousands of times across the world. This same principle applies to your personal wealth. When you find a strategy that generates results, your first instinct might be to look for the next big thing. This is a common mistake. Instead, ask yourself how you can do more of what's already working. If a particular investment approach has yielded consistent returns, increase your allocation to that strategy. If a specific marketing channel brings in reliable customers, scale up your efforts there before experimenting with new platforms. The power of repetition extends beyond just business strategies. It applies to your daily habits, routines, and decisions. Successful people often wear the same style of clothes, eat at the same restaurants, and follow similar daily schedules. This isn't because they lack creativity, it's because they understand that mental energy is finite, and decision fatigue can derail progress. By establishing and repeating effective patterns, you free up cognitive resources for high-impact decisions. Consider the compound effect of relentless repetition. If you find a way to generate $1,000 0 cents in profit and can repeat that process 10 times, you've earned $10,000 0 cents. Learn to repeat it 100 times, and you've generated $100,000 0 cents. The math is simple, but the execution requires discipline and persistence. Many people abandon working systems in search of shortcuts or out of simple boredom, missing out on the exponential benefits of mastery through repetition. Documentation becomes crucial in this process. Create detailed records of what works, the specific actions, conditions, and results. This documentation serves as your personal playbook for wealth creation. When you hit inevitable obstacles or face temporary setbacks, this playbook becomes your North Star, guiding you back to proven paths rather than leading you to experiment with untested methods during challenging times. The concept of relentless repetition doesn't mean becoming rigid or resistant to improvement. Instead, think of it as iterative optimization. Each repetition should include small refinements and adjustments that enhance efficiency and results. It's like a master craftsman who performs the same techniques thousands of times, each iteration slightly better than the last. Technology and automation can amplify your ability to repeat successful patterns. Once you've identified what works, look for ways to systematize and scale these processes. This might mean creating templates, developing standard operating procedures, or investing in software that can replicate your best practices automatically. Wealth creation is not about sporadic home runs. It's about consistent base hits executed repeatedly over time. The most sustainable fortunes are built through the patient application of proven principles rather than constant pursuit of new opportunities. When you find something that works, your primary focus should be on doing it better, doing it bigger, and doing it more often. Your ability to stick with what works will be tested by market changes, trending opportunities, and your own desire for novelty. These are the moments that separate the truly successful from the perpetually struggling. The self-made rich understand that long-term wealth is built through the disciplined execution of proven strategies, not through constant pivots and changes in direction. The path to becoming self-made rich is found in the relentless pursuit of excellence in what already works. Let others chase the next big thing while you perfect and scale your proven systems. This is how generational wealth is built, not through flashy innovations, but through the patient, persistent application of successful principles, repeated day after day, year after year.